Hi everyone, welcome back to your social studies lessons. We continue on the topic of World War One, and we have women in the First War. Look at this picture. What does this picture imply? It implies of hardworking women working in factories, right? So this is shells factories or munitions factories. Okay, so the topic is women and World War One. The home front. You remember the two fronts, the Western Front and the Eastern Front. There is also a third front by the name the Home Front. So what is it about? It's all about supporting the soldiers in the front lines with the supplies and ammunitions, food, materials that are needed for their survival. So around 6 million men went to war in Britain, and this left a shortage of workers. So women were to place these vacancies of jobs. So there were many posts put around the country, persuade men to go to war, and this is like one of the convincing adverts that are persuading the British publics to join the army and protect Britain. The home front, who do you think did not or could not fight in the war? Like everybody can fight, right? Okay. A changing rules of women. So women before the war, they were just doing this casual classical jobs of women, like mending clothes, sewing. As we can see the picture here, the woman is taken in 1906. A woman mending socks at her home. So, and most unmarried working women were servants. Unfortunately, they were just working in harsh conditions, and nobody ever recognized their rights. With the appearance of factories, and women also helped in with factories as laborers. And when the war started, women's life changed radically. Why were women so important? Okay, men were away for fighting. So who is going to take care of the jobs here at home? So women will do this. Also, the jobs held were efforts such as ammunitions and bombs and missiles. These are all need to be produced and need laborers or labor power. Okay. Women's worker rules. Women took on many roles during the war. We have engineers, spine. Hey, can you believe it's also spine? Spine is taking information from the enemies using intelligent ways. Railway guards and police, as nurses, also postal workers working the post, making munitions and firefighting and ticket collections. We have also firemen, the classical job, and bank clerks. Finally, also bus and tram or ambulance drivers or conductors. Okay, what else did women do? It's important to mention that women did a lot of important jobs. So they were running the households and caring for the rest of the families. Here are some household jobs that women did besides their formal great jobs that they were offering. So mending and sewing clothes, cooking, keeping local traditions alive, such as dancing in marriages, looking after children, queuing for rations. It's an old traditions of rum drinking, writing letters to family, and putting up blackouts gardening for home-grown food. Okay. Land girls. Land girls, that's farmers. Girls who work in the farms were called land girls. Those women who work in the farms. And they were part of Women's Land Army. So WLA stands for Women's Land Army. Those roles were essential to make sure that there is enough food for everyone. By the end of 1917, there were 23,000 women working in lands. In addition, there were over 250. Oh, that's 25,000 female farm laborers. That's a big number. Okay, the Canary Girls. What do you see in the picture here? It's an ammunition factory. So during the war, there was a great need for ammunitions and bombs, missiles and bullets. And who has to take care of this? Women, of course. But the working conditions were very harsh, as they were dealing with toxic materials and chemicals. So there was a discolorifications on their skin, on the surface of the skins, and most of them, their skin color turned into yellow. That's why they were called the Canary Girls. And this is how they earned their nickname, the Canary Girls. And the women also experienced other side effects, including sickness and chest pains, and also skin sores. Also nurses, there were nurses in the front line. They were sent to help wounded soldiers, and but most of them were not well trained because there was a need for, or a deadly need for nursing services. And most women were volunteers in this service. So voluntary aid detachment, this is the foundation of Women Nursing Association. Also football, if you remember Walter Tall, our hero and our soldier of the Battle of Somme. Women also were very great in playing football. They were professionals, female footballers who formed matches and won games. And the most famous teams were Blyth Spartans, who never lost a game. Their star player, Bela Rossi, scored 133 goals. However, after the war, this was stopped. The end of the war, many men returned and they were scared of losing their jobs after they found women have taken over the whole country's jobs. And the question is, would all the jobs still be needed? What would men do when they returned? What would men do when they returned? Discuss these questions and share me your answers as well. Written answers are important. You say send me written answers, or you can send me voice answers. What would women think about men coming home? What would men think about coming home? I need your answers to these questions, and send your homework as soon as possible. Thank you.